Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw video for the week of March the 19th, 2018. Happy birthday goes to Brooklyn Brawler. He was born 1961 on April 18th. April 19th, birthday, Roxy. She was born 1980. Alfred sent word that the men dressed in as U.S. Marshals in the Roman Reigns segment on last night's Raw were Texas indie wrestlers Brad Sanders, Ricky Starks, and Christopher Hayden. Apparently, I have met Christopher Hayden in person, wrestled for TEW. I was in the one of the Royal Rumbles that he was happened to be in. As Chris Hayden wrestled in 2012, also League of Lions champion, currently out of Marshall, Texas. And there's a video from WWE's 24 Empowered special linked on WWE Network with Triple H having a pep talk to the participants of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match back in January. The video also features an emotional Paige who was upset about missing the match due to her injury that took her wrestling career away from her. Ultimate Deletion match on last night's Raw with Matt Hardy defeating Bray Wyatt received Twitter props from WWE Hall of Famers Hulk Hogan, Mick Foley, and Iron Sheik. You can see their tweets. You can listen to the tweets below, following along with the tweet from Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Hulk Hogan says, "I'm deleted, HH. Real Mick Foley, I have no idea. WTF, I just saw, but I liked it. Hashtag Final Deletion, hashtag Raw, at Matt Hardy Brand. At the underscore Iron Sheik, the hashtag Ultimate Deletion. Excellent, Bubba. My brothers, the at Matt Hardy Brand, at the Jeff Hardy Brand, show my English some good as them, Bubba. Young Bucks, Nick Jackson, YB. The plan was to have a Final Deletion match with the Hardys last year, but obviously plans changed. Glad they're allowing Matt and Jeff to show how creative they are." WWE taped this week's edition of Main Event from Dallas, Texas in the American Airlines Center before Raw went live on Monday night. And here are the spoilers for the show. Graham Metallic, Kalisto, and Lance Dorado defeated TJP, Ariel DeBerry, and Tony Nese. Heath Slater defeated Kurt Hawkins. Live from Dallas, from Raw, we got Michael Coleslaw. Welcome to the show, as normal. He's joined in by Corey Graves and Jonathan Coachman. We go right to the ring. Out comes General General Manager Kurt Angle as JoJo does the introductions. Angle welcomes us and says he has some bad news to start. Roman Reigns is still suspended, and he will not be here tonight. Fans cheer. Angle adds that Universal Champion Brock Lesnar has not made it to the arena yet, but Vince McMahon has assured him that the Beast will be here. Angle brings up Braun Strowman winning last week's tag team battle royal without a partner. Angle goes on about Braun, but Reigns comes walking through the crowd, staring Angle down. Some fans boo as Reigns walks into the ring. Angle asks what Reigns is doing here and says he's trespassing, adding that security is ready for him. Reigns asks who cares as Lesnar hasn't been here week after week, and someone has to be here to represent the WrestleMania 34 main event. Reigns asks where Lesnar is. Angle was told that he was running a little late. Angle says, tells Reigns to be patient and he will get his hands on Lesnar in a few weeks, but Reigns doesn't care. Reigns says, "This is Dallas. He made a lot of memories here, and he's not leaving until he makes another tonight." Reigns grabs a steel chair and takes a seat in the ring, telling Angle to go in the back and do whatever he has to do to make it right. Angle walks to the back and Reigns takes his seat. We see men dressed in U.S. Marshals gear, uniforms, walking out now. Reigns stands up as the Marshals enter the ring and recommends them his Miranda rights. Reigns warns the officers not to touch him, but he's placed in handcuffs. Being arrested for trespassing, he looks to be leaving with them, but he lays them all out instead. The music hits and out comes Universal Champion with Paul Heyman. Lesnar rushes the ring and Reigns waits. Still in handcuffs, Lesnar nails a big suplex and goes to work on Reigns with steel chair shots. Some fans boo. Officials come down to ringside, but Lesnar keeps hitting Reigns. Lesnar launched Reigns with a German suplex as Heyman looks on from ringside. Holding the title, Lesnar continued the assault and lands another German suplex. Lesnar with another chair shot. Lesnar leaves the ring, but comes back to deliver more steel chair shots while Reigns is down and cuffed. Lesnar leaves, but comes back to the ring again. The Beast scoops Reigns for a big F5 this time. Lesnar marches up the ramp with the title as the music hits now. Paramedics come rushing past him with a stretcher. Officials and paramedics tend to Reigns in the ring. Loading him on the stretcher, a "You deserve it" chant starts up from the crowd as Reigns is strapped onto the stretcher and taken away. They just get Reigns out of the ring when the music hits, and out comes Lesnar again. Lesnar knocks the stretcher over with Reigns still strapped to it. Lesnar talks some trash and drags the stretcher over. Reigns is yelling in pain, still strapped and in cuffs. Lesnar walks up the ramp to a mixed reaction as his music starts back up. We go to commercial. Back from the break, we see what happened with Lesnar destroying Reigns. We see Reigns being stretchered into an ambulance in the backstage area. The announcers play up the seriousness of the situation. We get a video package showing the events leading to tonight's Asuka versus Alexa Bliss match, along with the other recent happenings with Bliss and Nia Jax. That match is up next. We go to ring. Out comes Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss with Mickie James for this non-title match. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Bliss is in the ring with Mickie. Bliss gets heat from the crowd and finally speaks. She admits what she said about Nia Jax was wrong last week. She didn't know everyone would be listening, but it was just a girl talk with Mickie. Bliss says she got carried away in the moment and said some things that she shouldn't have, and there's nothing else to say, but she's sorry. Bliss says she sincerely apologizes, but the boos continued. She sincerely apologizes that she didn't speak the truth sooner. Let's be honest. Bliss doesn't apologize, and the word sorry isn't in her vocabulary. She has no remorse. She says Jax was humiliated in front of the entire world, and Bliss loved every second of it. Mickie laughs it up as well. Bliss then says she never liked Nia. She used Nia. She likes that line and repeats it. Bliss goes on dissing Nia and thanks Mickie for letting her vent because she feels much better. Bliss says she feels like dead weight has been lifted off of her. Like she just dropped 300 pounds. A pathetic loser. Fans boo. Bliss tells them to save their boos for someone. Continues. Bliss says now that she's done with Jax, she can now do what she's meant to do. End Asuka's undefeated streak. Music hits. Out comes the Empress of Tomorrow. Back to commercial. Back from the break, the match is underway. Back and forth start. Bliss takes a stroll and Asuka ends up on the floor. Bliss follows and works Asuka around. Of course, it's a non-title match. Bliss brings it back into the ring for a 2 count. Bliss keeps Asuka down. Asuka fights back, but Bliss drop kicks her and turns it back around. Asuka mounts some offense and hits her hip attack. Asuka with more offense and a knee to the face. Asuka drops Bliss again for a 2 count. Asuka goes up top, but Mickie provides a distraction as Bliss takes advantage and drops Asuka with the right hand. Bliss then kicks Asuka out of the ring. Mickie attacks Asuka while the referee isn't looking. Bliss brings it back in for a 2 count. Bliss keeps Asuka grounded again, but the fans are rallying for her. Bliss shows frustration after some more offense and another kick out by Asuka. Bliss sends Asuka back to the floor as we go to commercial break. Back from the break, they tangle in the corner. Bliss counters and brings Asuka to the mat for a 2 count. Bliss with more offense. Asuka looks to make a comeback and rolls Bliss up for a 2 count. Asuka with an ankle lock now. Bliss grabs the bottom rope, but Asuka pulls her back in. Mickie tries to assist Bliss, but the referee sees her. Bliss finally gets the bottom rope, and the hold is broken. Mickie checks on Bliss on the floor now. Back from a commercial break, and Bliss ends up selling the ankle injury on the floor. Mickie grabs the title and checks on her. Mickie helps Bliss to the back as the referees count her out. What am I counting out? Asuka. After the match, Nia Jax ends up running down and taking out Mickie at ringside. Jax chases Bliss. Bliss goes over the barrier and into the crowd, but Jax grabs her by her hair. Bliss nails her and eventually breaks free. Jax goes back to the ringside area and floors Mickie again. Bliss looks to be free in the crowd, but Jax chases her again, and they disappear into the back. So to come to segment, John Cena wants an answer from The Undertaker. Braun Strowman is up next. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get a look at Braun Strowman's Battle Royal win last week. Kurt Angle is on the phone when Alexa Bliss storms in. She wants Nia suspended. No, she wants Jax arrested. Angle has had enough of rest tonight and is tired of people telling him what to do. He also was not happy about Alexa's insults at Jax because his daughter and other girls around the world hurt her. Angle said the Raw Women's Champion should be a role model. He makes Jax versus Bliss at WrestleMania 34. We go to the ring. Out comes Braun Strowman to a pop. Braun brags on his tag team battle royal win last week and says he's going to WrestleMania 34. Braun says management informed him earlier tonight that he has to have a partner for the Raw Tag Team title shot, but he doesn't think he needs a partner. He knows he can win the tag titles by himself. He is a monster among. Music interrupts. Out comes Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar. Sheamus says Braun is out of his mind if he thinks he can beat both of them by himself. Sheamus says last week's Battle Royal win is different than beating the greatest tag team in WWE. Sheamus has Cesaro school Braun on what it takes to become a successful tag team. He mentions sleeping together, and the crowd doesn't agree. They tell the crowd to grow up because Cesaro meant room together. They go on until Braun tells them to shut the hell up. Sheamus says they have defeated every team on Raw, and it will be no different with Braun and his partner. Sheamus says Brock's beating on Reigns from earlier will be nothing compared to what they do to Braun's team at WrestleMania. Braun says they should be worried about Reigns or Lesnar. They should be worried about the WrestleMania title shot and the fact that Kurt Angle told him he can wrestle one of them right now. Braun asks which one of them wants to get these hands. They get these hands chant started from the crowd as the Bar gets ready. So we get Cesaro versus Braun Strowman. The bell rings and Braun launches Cesaro across the ring into a corner. Braun keeps control and Cesaro gets tossed out to the floor as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, and Cesaro is mounting offense trying to bring Braun down. Braun overpowers and charges, but Cesaro sends him over the top rope to the floor. Cesaro with a kick through the ropes. Cesaro sends Braun back into the barrier and follows. Sheamus approaches and Braun follows him. Cesaro takes advantage and comes from behind, but it backfires. Braun brings it back into the ring, but Cesaro attacks him. Cesaro dropkicks Braun into the ring post and goes to work in the corner. Braun turns it around and sends Cesaro to the floor. Cesaro comes back in and hits the corkscrew uppercut. More back and forth as Sheamus trying to get involved again. Braun ends up flooring Sheamus at ringside. Braun goes back in the ring to focus on Cesaro again. Then he sees Cesaro come off the turnbuckle, but Braun caught him in midair and a big Alabama slam, power slam for the win. After the match, Braun marched up the ramp as the music hits. Sheamus checks on Cesaro and looks up at Braun from the ring. Braun stands tall on the stage and yells out before going to the back. Another still to come segment. John Cena's here. Also the ultimate deletion. We see a video of Matt Hardy and his platoon at the Hardy compound. Matt tells Senior Benjamin to prepare the battlefield for annihilation. Back to commercial. Revival versus Titus Worldwide. Back from the break, both teams are in the ring as the bell rings. Scott Dawson takes control of Titus O'Neil before Dash Wilder comes in. Titus gets double teamed and they keep him near their corner. Apollo gets a hot tag and unloads on both opponents. Apollo with a standing moonsault on Dash for a 2 count. More back and forth between the two teams. Titus gets taken out on the floor, but Apollo comes over the top to take out Dash. Apollo goes back to the ring to hits a crossbody on Dawson, but Dawson rolls through and grabs the tights for a 2 count. Apollo with a jumping insecurity. The Revival makes a tag, but Apollo fights him off. They get the upper hand and hit the Shatter Machine for the pin as Dash makes cover. We're in the match, Revival. After the match, Revival stands tall in the ring as we go to replays. Charlie Caruso enters the ring, asks about the path to WrestleMania 34 now that the Bar has a match. Dash says no other team is as qualified as they are to challenge for the titles. They go on and Dawson declares that they will be the first tag team to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Coleslaw leads us to the 2018 WWE Hall of Fame video package for Mark Henry. Still to come, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Absolution. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get a preview for tonight's WWE 24 Empowered special on the WWE Network following Raw. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We go to the ring. Out first comes Bayley. Sasha was out Next, with the microphone, Sasha was taught to confront someone face to face when there's a problem, not talk behind their back. Sasha says they are best friends and she wants to fix whatever problem there is. She says Bailey has to understand that Elimination Chamber was every woman before herself. Sasha was trying to win the title, not betray her. Just like she's going to try to win the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania 34. Sasha goes on as fans give her the what treatment. Sasha says she forgives Bailey, and some fans boo. Bailey tries to explain her side too, but fans give her the what treatment as well. Bailey says she can't get over what Sasha did at the Elimination Chamber. It's how she did it. Bailey knows about doing what it takes to win matches, but the look on Sasha's face and the way she did it eats at Bailey's core. Sasha was all smiles, and Bailey can't get that picture out of her head. Bailey wants to know how Sasha could do that like it was nothing, but the music interrupts, and out comes Absolution, Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. Paige mocks them and says it's time for the match. Paige says her girls are going to show these whiny little girls how real women settle problems. Mandy and Sonya hit the ring, and we get the bell. Sasha takes Sonya back into the corner and takes control early on. Sonya turns it around and sends Sasha out to the floor. Down with Bailey. Rose and Sonya stand tall in the ring as we go to commercial. Back for the break. Rose has Bailey on the mat. Bailey turns it around and covers for a 2 count. Banks tags in as Bailey drops an elbow. They're taken between Banks and Bailey over the tag and the pin attempt. Rose slams Banks on her head and keeps control. Deville comes back in for more offense and a pin attempt on Banks. Deville keeps Banks grounded with a body scissors and talks some trash. Deville works Banks over some more and tags in Rose. Deville sends Sasha into a big knee from Rose, and Rose covers for a close 2 count. Rose with more offense on Banks and a version of the abdominal stretch. Absolution with more tags as they keep Sasha in the corner. Sasha finally fights them both off and crawls for a tag, but she is stopped. Bailey finally tags in and unloads on Deville. Bailey sends Deville to the apron and drops her over the middle rope. Bailey with a high suplex and a back elbow into the corner to Deville. Bailey drops a big elbow and covers for a 2 count, but Rose broke up the pinfall. Sasha comes in, goes after Rose, taking her to the corner. Bailey backslides Deville for the pin, but the referee is dealing with Sasha and Rose. Bailey holds the pin, but doesn't get a win. This leads to Bailey going over to Sasha and having words. Deville runs in and shoves Bailey into Sasha, sending them both to the mat. Deville nails a big kick to Bailey for the pin and a win. After the match, Paige joins Rose and Deville in the ring as their music plays. We go to replays after Lucius stands tall and we see Bailey and Banks down. Another still to come segment. John Cena back to commercial. Back from the break, out comes John Cena to the ring. Cena greets us and says this is not our typical Raw because everything is bigger in Texas. Cena plugs WrestleMania 34 and says he gave The Undertaker a choice, yes or no. Cena goes on and says, as long as there is a WWE, the name The Undertaker has meaning. Cena says before he gets to Taker's response, he wants to know how Dallas feels about the dead man. The crowd pops for their home state star. Cena points to a fan dressed as a retro Taker in the crowd and hypes the challenge. Cena mentions how he's heard nothing in response, which is disrespectful to he and the WWE Universe. Cena goes on about Taker and the streak. Cena says if Taker is retired, say you're retired and everyone understands. But if you're not retired, say yes and give the world what they're dying to see. Cena goes on about Taker drowning in his own insecurities and says he's not the god they made you. He's the man you allowed yourself to be, and that man is a coward. Cena declares that The Undertaker is a coward. He asks Taker to please prove him wrong. Give him a yes or a no. At this point, he doesn't get a yes or no. He needs some of the stupid stuff Taker does. Smoke, lightning, the casket rolling out or something. Cena rants some more and tells Taker to be a man, to do something. And the crowd starts chanting, do something. Do something. And Cena finishes off. Do something, Taker. Now. Cena gets hype as the fans chant, but nothing happens. Cena says, there it is. The moment Taker let everyone down. Cena says Taker is not a god, and he shouldn't be able to call himself a man right now. Cena looks to be wrapping up, but the music interrupts and out comes Kane. Kane enters the ring, says Taker must have sent his brother to give us the response we deserve. Cena asks Kane if it's yes or no. Kane stares Cena down for a few seconds and grabs Cena by the throat, dropping him with a choke slam in the middle of the ring. Kane exits the ring as his music hits. Cena is laid out in the middle of the ring. We get a look back at what happened with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the opening segment. Coleslaw says Reigns has been taken to a local medical facility but will not be released tonight. Still to come, Ronda Rousey and the Ultimate Deletion. The Miz and the Miztourage versus the Balor Club. We go to the ring. Out comes Intercontinental Champion The Miz with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we see some of the NFL Dallas Cowboys at ringside. The announcers lead us to earlier today video with Matt Hardy and at the Hardy compound as he prepared for the Ultimate Deletion. The Miz is in the ring with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas now as the fans boo. Miz says we're just weeks away from WrestleMania 34 and he gets no respect. He rants about not being on the WrestleMania magazine while WWE Champion AJ Styles and WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar are. They also get singles matches at WrestleMania, but he gets the odds stacked against him in a triple threat. Miz asks if he is the bad guy, and the fans do a yes chant. Miz knocks Balor and Rollins more, saying he exposed them last week. Miz goes on and says he will send Tyler Black and Prince Devitt, with an N, back to the bingo halls after he wins at WrestleMania. He goes on about taking respect until the music interrupts, and out comes Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. The club. The bell is about to ring. Out comes Seth Rollins to join the announcers on commentary. Back to commercial. Back from the break. Gallows drops Axel for a 2 count. Balor tags in and comes off for a double team as Gallows holds Axel's arm. Balor takes Axel from the corner to corner, but in comes the Miz to turn it around. Miz works Balor over, takes him to the corner for more. Axel tags in and drops Balor again for a 2 count. Axel keeps Balor grounded now as Axel working Balor over and taunts his partners. Balor counters and crawls for a tag, but Bo tags in first. Bo cuts Balor off and takes him to the corner. Dallas unloads with stomps in the corner. Dallas distracts the referee, allowing Miz to get the cheap shots in on Balor. Axel comes in, but the heels waste some time mocking them. Balor fights back and knocks Miz and Dallas off the apron. Balor turns it around on Axel and tags in Anderson. Anderson hits the rings and unloads on Axel. Anderson knocks Miz off the apron and delivers another big kick to the head in the corner. Anderson goes to the second rope and takes Axel down for a 2 count. Anderson stops a sneak attack from happening while Axel is down. Anderson goes to the top and hits a crossbody on Axel for a 2 count. Miz tags himself in, and Anderson doesn't see it. This leads to Miz getting a 2 count on Anderson. We go to commercial. Back from the break, we get and Balor comes in with Dallas as they go at it. Balor unloads and hits a double stomp. Balor sends Axel over the top to the floor. Balor runs the ropes and launches himself onto Axel and Dallas. Balor brings Dallas back in the ring and goes to the top, but Axel knocks him off to the mat. Miz tags in for a skull-crushing finale on Balor, but Balor rolls him up for a 2 count. Balor blocks it again and knocks Axel off the apron. Balor rolls Miz up for a 2 count and sends him into Axel, knocking Axel back off the apron to the floor, but they knocked heads. Balor rolls Miz right back up for the win. Winner of the match, Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, The Club. After bell, Miz immediately attacks Balor and Miztourage joins in. Gallows and Anderson get sent out of the ring. Miz beats on Balor while Dallas takes out Gallows on the floor. Against the barrier, Axel and Dallas eventually return to the ring for a triple team move, but Rollins runs down to the ring. Dallas charges Rollins but gets sent to the floor. Rollins goes at it with the Miz now and hits him with a black out curb stomp as fans pop. Balor and Rollins come face to face with the Miz down in between them. Rollins brags that it was him who did that to Miz. They face off as Rollins' music hits. We get another video from the Hardy compound with Matt Hardy on the Lake of Reincarnation with the Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat. The Ultimate Deletion is still to come. Still to come, Ronda Rousey's story. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get a new video package on Ronda Rousey. We cut to the Hardy compound in Cameron, North Carolina. The Ultimate Deletion, Bray Wyatt shown approaching the gates of the property. It's dark, and Wyatt has his lantern. Vanguard 1 appears and scans Wyatt. A graphic of Matt Hardy's head appears from the drone and welcomes Wyatt to the Hardy compound, telling him to follow the music. We hear a piano and Wyatt starts walking. We see Matt on his property, standing on the apron of a wrestling ring. Queen Rebecca, wife of Matt Hardy, Rebby Hardy, is next to the ring with her piano. Wyatt stands on the apron and Matt says he knew he would come. Referee Sean Bennett is in the ring. Wyatt and Hardy stare each other down. We go to commercial with Wyatt still on the apron. Ultimate Deletion match, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy is your main event. Back from the break, and also lead us to tonight's main event, filmed a few weeks back at the Hardy compound. Cole Saul says it's obnoxious and surreal, among other things, but Graves defends it. Cole says that he's sorry for what we're about to watch. We go back to the ring in the compound, and the referee calls for the bell. Wyatt and Hardy laugh while circling each other. Of course, nobody's in, supposedly, at their Hardy arena. Matt says that's enough, as this type of laughter is over. They lock up and go at it. Vanguard 1 hovers above. Matt gets the upper hand and chants delete, while Wyatt is in the corner. Wyatt goes for Sister Abigail and ends up taking Hardy down. Bray brings a steel chair from under the ring, while Matt stumbles to his feet in the ring. Bray kisses the chair, while Matt tells the drone to initiate. Matt wonders what was about to happen. Wyatt wonders what is about to happen. Vanguard 1 sets off a bunch of fireworks at ringside. This distracts Wyatt, and Matt drops him. Matt delivers chair shots now. Wyatt ends up on the outside of the ring, in the grass and the weeds. They brawl around, and Matt goes down. Matt asks Bray if this reminds him of anything. Bray has flashbacks of his own structure that was burnt down a while back. Matt decks him and tells him to wake up. Wyatt blocks a shot and turns the candlestick around on Hardy. Referee watches the action closely as they struggle against a barn-like structure. The area is apparently called the Dilapidated City. Wyatt screams out while having a flashback about the fire that he experienced a while back. Wyatt goes hunting for Matt in a graveyard-type area called the Land of Obsolete. The Land of Obsolete Men. Wyatt has no luck, but finds Matt elsewhere in the woods. Wyatt works Hardy around, and referee asks if he could continue. Wyatt gets a 2 count. Wyatt mounts Hardy and pounds on him, laughing. Wyatt brings Matt over to another area and throws him into a garage door. The door raises, and there's another wrestling ring with a piano, a riding lawnmower, and some other items. This is the dome of deletion. Wyatt keeps control as he fights Hardy into the dome. Matt turns it around and grabs a ladder, ramming it into Wyatt a few times. Matt welcomes Wyatt to the dome of deletion and continues the attack with the ladder. Matt goes to ride the mower over Wyatt, but Wyatt turns upside down and then kicks Matt off. Bray slams Matt face on top of the mower and brings him into the ring. Wyatt keeps control and Matt falls back to the floor. Wyatt covers for a 2 on the concrete. Wyatt talks to Matt and says this is the ultimate solution. Wyatt tells Matt to let's go home now and finish it. Wyatt drags Matt out of the dome. Vanguard 1 sees Wyatt carrying Matt to the Lake of Reincarnation and dropping him in the grass. Matt calls on Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat. Wyatt keeps up the attack and goes to hit Sister Abigail into the boat, but here comes the drone. Wyatt grabs it and laughs at it. Wyatt pushes the drone away and says he will deal with it later. Wyatt turns the boat over, but there is Senor Benjamin, not Matt. Senor sings. He's got the whole world in his hands as Wyatt and tosses what looks like a mini globe at him. Jeff Hardy appears beside Wyatt's face and also sings whole world in his hands as Matt reappears off the distractions and drops Wyatt for the pin. Winner of the match, Matt Hardy. After the count, Matt approaches Wyatt and shoves him back into the lake. Matt calls on Benjamin to retrieve Wyatt from the lake. Wyatt's not there. Matt declares that the Great War is over now and Bray Wyatt has been deleted. Matt chants delete a few times as Raw goes off the air. Fans in attendance did not see the Ultimate Deletion video at the end of Raw. When the TV show went to the Ultimate Deletion video segment, the lights went out. Fans began chanting delete, delete. Instead, the lights came back on and Michael Cole, Saw, Coach, and Corey Graves were gone. Instead, Elias was inside the ring under a spotlight. My friends and I were pretty upset. Elias was incredible. He was entertaining the entire arena. Apparently, an Elias concert. Well, the fan in attendance sent in the notes from it. One, Braun Strowman beat Elias in a lengthy match by Strowman standings. Afterwards, Kane came out and brawled with Strowman, with Kane eventually going to a table. Ronda Rousey came out and addressed the crowd. She was interrupted by Dana Brooke right after saying hello to Dallas and giggling. Dana asked Rousey, "Who do you think you are? You walk around here like you are somebody." She told her to start at the back of the line. She said, This ring has 4 sides, not 8, which makes her a nobody around here." Dana entered the ring. She said that she can't wait until WrestleMania when Stephanie McMahon makes her property. She told her to get out of her ring before I make you. Rousey took a deep breath and smiled. Rousey said, "I would really, really like to see you try." She dropped the mic. Dana threw a punch. Rousey blocked it. Rousey grabbed her arm. Dana tried to leave. Rousey suplexed her onto the mic, and she fell to the floor. Rousey's music played, and you can see what the action at that link there. People were excited to see Rousey. It was a nice reaction, but nothing special. Not a mega response. It was the end of the 3rd hour, and everyone was tired. She said a few words, but didn't do much. It felt like they had to squeeze her in because they promised she'd be there. Then Dana came out. We were confused. The segment seemed all over the place. Then Rousey did the same wrestling moves, and Dana landed on the microphone, and it looked nasty. Then Rousey left. After the Rousey segment, which was underwhelming, people around me were going, "Okay, that happened. Now let's get to Matt Hardy." And we didn't get it. Because it wasn't live, they went to the tape event. When Reigns first came out, it was 60-40 boos. But as the segment went on, the crowd was more pro-Roman. There was a pro-Roman chant. The crowd ate up what Reigns was saying, the whole anti-establishment bit. When the U.S. Marshals came out, you could tell the crowd was siding with Reigns. The further Brock went with the attacks, the more the audience started to have fun with the fact that Reigns was getting beat up. They were so pro-Roman. But you can't cheer Lesnar being a monster. It became fun to watch. Fans chanted, "You deserve it," by the time Lesnar knocked him over. The crowd seemed mostly pro-Cena. They booed him because it's the thing to do. Fans really wanted to see Undertaker. They were more pro-Cena because they wanted what he wanted, which was an answer from the Undertaker. They did seem to boo the idea that Cena was calling Undertaker a coward, with the hope that Taker would do something about it. It seemed Cena had us the entire time. The crowd was really fatigued from so many commercial breaks by the time Finn Balor came out. I went with the non-wrestling fans, and they loved the athleticism in the cruiserweight tag match before Raw. They also really popped for Asuka's entrance and thought she came across as a star. Non-fans thought the show was produced for the TV audience, and we were just there to watch the production. But the show wasn't for us in attendance. The Elias segment didn't air, was the highlight for me. Every time he'd stand, the crowd would cheer because he wasn't going to sing. When he'd sit, they booed. This went on several minutes. He'd step out of the spotlight and then put a little finger into the spotlight, and the crowd would boo. Then he put his arm in the spotlight, and the boos got longer. And when he stepped into the spotlight entirely, they exploded with boos. He had the crowd the whole time. I'm excited to see where he goes. And there's the reporter from PW Insider. Did not get his name, but he I guess apparently works for him. Said the biggest pops Brock Lesnar most, then Cena and Reigns tied with Braun close behind. Kane got a nice pop too, because he was an unexpected surprise. And that concludes my results for Raw and WWE main event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one on. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.